Greetings, Mount Lebanon families. Mr. Finkbeiner coming to you here with our 21-22 Back to School Day video presentation. We're sorry you couldn't join us for our Thursday and Saturday sessions, but the good news is the important information from that in-person presentation is here in the video presentation. Let's get started. First, my name is Ryan Finkbeiner. I serve as the principal here at Mount Lebanon Lutheran School. And I split my time between both our Alpha Elementary School campus and our Omega Middle School campus. Why are we here? Because we're a team. We're partnered together, and we are going to return this school year to what we do best, which is making disciples, heirs, and leaders. And what we really believe is this: it's all about commitment and partnership. Our Mount Lebanon commitment includes parents and teachers and scholars. And we put Jesus in the middle of that. He offers forgiveness. He gives us motivation to serve one another, to work hard. And it's with Jesus at the center that this special triangle is able to accomplish so much. And what are some of the things we've accomplished? Well, we have set our eyes on making disciples, heirs, and leaders. Disciples who live differently from the rest of the world. Heirs who know they're going to heaven through Jesus' life, death, and resurrection. And then we teach our kids to serve one another, taking the gifts they've been given and offering them to God as they serve others. We also have had some pretty wild success academically. In a given year, we would expect a student to grow one grade level per year, which of course makes sense. Somebody who starts second grade and completes second grade should then be ready academically for third grade. You may know that there are some schools in Milwaukee where that doesn't happen. But here at Mount Lebanon, it does. We're very, very blessed not to have a 100% growth, but rather over the course of the last 4 years, we have averaged 131% growth in reading and 138% growth in math, which means the kids at Mount Lebanon are growing 1.3 years in 1 year. Or another way of thinking about it is this: they go to school for 9 months, but they're actually gaining 12 months of growth in math and reading. And thank you for your hard work as parents. Again, it's all about that partnership to make it possible. And as you know, Mount Lebanon, because of the partnership between home, school, and scholar, has been and continues to be a 5-star school that significantly exceeds expectations. If you want to learn more about Mount Lebanon scores or any private, charter, or public school in Milwaukee, go to this address and you can learn more about how schools are performing. Moving on, I want to talk about a few new things, some exciting things for this year. The first one is our STEM program. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, and PTLW stands for Project Lead the Way. We now have a K4 through 8th grade Project Lead the Way, or STEM program. Robotics, computer programming, design, modeling, all of these things are going to be happening, and we're excited that that's going to be happening in every grade this year. We also welcome Mrs. Barch, some of you know her, as our Director of Student Service. Mrs. Barch and her team of 3 resource teachers are going to be doing pull-out services, where we pull students out of the room to get them extra help, push-in services, where they go into the room and they're working side by side with a student while they're in the middle of class, and a whole bunch of other tutoring services. It's a real blessing to help those kids who maybe need a little more help with math and reading. We're also very excited to have the parent and family events calendar. That's a piece of paper that if you didn't get that from Mrs. Felsky or Mrs. Hernandez when you're registering here in the office, make sure you ask for that. Because we've got some great opportunities to partner up. And we've got several new faculty members. Ms. Siri Uden is our new Dean of Students at the Alpha campus. Mrs. Schmidt is our new second grade teacher, taking Mrs. Barch's spot. Mr. Caesar slid over to the Omega campus, so Mrs. Knippel is our new 4th grade teacher. And some of you know Mrs. Shipley. She coached basketball here at Mount Lebanon. She's our new 8th grade teacher. A couple of changes. We are not bringing the bus back this year for a variety of reasons, and feel free to call the office. I'd gladly explain those. Aftercare is pay by the month, prepay only. You can pay online at themountmke.org. Talk to Mr. Madison if you want to learn more about that. And dismissal at the Omega campus for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grades now 3:45. So please make a note of that. We can pick kids up starting at 3:45. And finally, DHL shirts, Disciples, Heirs, Leaders t-shirts, they're for sale here in the office. We'll be able to wear those on Fridays. Last year we wore them on Thursdays and Fridays. This year it's just Fridays. Let's keep moving on. A few notes here with the Omega campus and Alpha campus. Be in the know, parents. I'm going to encourage you, hop into the parent handbook and learn about the Omega campus. The fact that it is departmentalized. In 5th grade, students now have a social studies, science, math, and reading teacher. 4 different teachers. It's a different model. It's called departmentalized. We have a behavioral system that's slightly different from the Alpha campus. Read more about that on pages 16 through 18. We have a homework policy. We know the value of putting in those extra minutes in the evening and the positive or the reinforcement on the academic concept that comes from that. Read more about homework there. Be on the lookout for Google Classroom. Our middle school dean, who is Dean Liz Hochtritt, she encouraged me to tell you in this video, log into Google Classroom using your student's account so you can see everything, things that are done, not done, partially done, done amazingly well. And finally, be on the lookout for that progress report. Every week at the Omega campus, grades 5th through 8th gets a progress report and double check the uniform. When you start 5th grade, we now have ties and shirt, full button down, and black dress shoes. More on that for page 19. And be on the lookout for specials and electives, which are our specialty classes that students can sign up for. Our Alpha campus dean is Dean Siri Uden, and the behavioral system remains the same as it was last year at the Alpha campus. Read more about that at pages 16 through 18. Double check the homework policy. This is all very, very important stuff. And the uniform policy on page 18. I want to go back here. Remember, if you have a 4th grader, they now are wearing a blue tie, cross stitch for girls, long tie for boys, a full button-down white dress shirt, belt, and tie. 3rd grade and under, they're still wearing the polos with 3 buttons. But 4th grade, if you got a 4th grader, big uniform change coming up this year. And you should note as well, at the middle school, we are wearing all black dress shoes. Alpha campus pickup, going to be very self-explanatory when you show up, but just a little note here. Please do not come down Stark Street off of 60th. Go up to Fairmount, and then come down 61st or 62nd Street. We get into a lot of trouble if we block the traffic on the corner of 60th and Hampton. Omega campus dismissal, pretty straightforward. Come down 84th Street, turn here in the gate, line up here where these yellow arrows are, make your way to this curve, and then pick up students. As you know, we are your attendance allies. We ask you to communicate to the office if somebody's going to be late, somewhere between 7:45 and 9 a.m. Look at the handbook specifics. Attendance is the key to success. You got to be in school to learn. So double check that in the parent handbook and then be on the lookout for all of our communication. All right, on the subject of communication, just really want to touch base with a little parent-teacher communication 101. A lot of this stuff you already know, but we just ask that when we communicate, maintain that respectful tone, open communication, touch base with the teacher regularly. Know that you have confidentiality. What we are discussing with you as a parent is between the teacher and the parent. If there's a discipline matter with a student, that is a confidential exchange. We don't discuss with a parent the discipline of somebody who's not their student. So we have a tremendous amount of respect for confidentiality. And then, of course, if you're reaching out to a teacher by text, email, or phone call, especially during the day, be patient. Teachers are supervising kids all day, every day, and they may not get back to you until 4:15, 4:30 that afternoon. Communication continued. If you have an attendance issue, somebody is sick, call the school office and let us know. If there's a student issue, touch base with the teacher. Have that open communication. If there's an unresolved issue with the teacher, bring in the dean of students. And if there's a behavioral referral question, talk to them. If there's an unresolved issue with the dean of students, talk to me as the principal. If you have school-wide suggestions, how we can get better, we always want to hear those as well. Let's move on. Cell phones, just a quick note here as we wrap up. First, children cannot bring their schools to cell phone, or their school to cell phone, their cell phone to school, because they don't need it. In fact, if they do bring their cell phone to school, it's to hand it to the first adult. It's locked in a safe. They get it back when they're leaving school. We encourage no cell phones at school. A variety of reasons. They tend to get broken, misplaced, or misused. So they don't need them. If you have a student who's walking home and they need a cell phone, we totally understand that, but please double check that cell phones aren't coming to school. Finally, at home. My big encouragement is monitor your child's cell phone use. In fact, they don't actually need a cell phone. I know that sounds like backwards, but there's no need for a student in middle school to have a cell phone, let alone if they do need a phone, it can be a flip phone, because the internet gives access to everything, and sometimes the devil uses that to cause our young people to fall into temptation. And what we can do to help them is maybe eliminate that temptation. But if you are going to give your child a phone and they're going to have that at home, take it away at night. Know their passwords. Check it on a daily basis, and don't let them know when you're checking it. Take it from them, right from their hands, and start going through it. I've had to learn this the hard way as a parent. If you're not checking, sometimes there are messages that are coming in that you don't want your child to have. So monitor those cell phones closely. Finally, what questions do you have? Call the office. Stop by. Call a teacher. We are glad to answer any questions you might have. And let's close up here. That is the end of this presentation. Thank you for tuning in. We very much appreciate it. Before you shut this video down, I just want to remind you that we are here to help. And we very much appreciate your choosing Mount Lebanon. And we pray God's blessings on the remainder of our year. And we invite you, join Mount Lebanon in every way you can. Be part of the school, but be more than that. Come to our family events. Come to our parent events. Join us for those special worship services. Join us for Bible studies. We have connect groups. We understand, and I think you do too. The more the adults are communicating on the same page, the more that they see one another, the more that their lives cross paths, the better it is for our kids. I thank you again for tuning in, and may God bless us this school year.